How's it going, everyone? It is Friday, September 13th, 2024. Very unlucky day today. Let's take a look at the picks from the last video. So, in my muted failed video, I had Hood as a day trade long, and I'll just go over that again and explain how I took that trade. So, I called out Hood in the video somewhere around here. We had a fresh buy signal. It was showing some relative strength to the market on this move down. Got in on this break at the high of the day at 12 o'clock. Rode it out till about, got in at 21.50, got out at 21.68. So took a nice little bit of profit, a little bit lower than I usually like, but still a nice little chunk there. So that was a nice win. When I re-recorded the video, I gave another two picks. The first was 5 as an overnight swing. So let's take a look at this stock here. So you can see that 5, couple things. First, it was breaking into the gap. It's breaking out of its channel, and it is trying to fill in that gap, hitting a little bit of, looks like resistance or resistance around there. So I took 5 right here, about 91.74. Set a profit target of about $96, and that got hit somewhere on the open right around here. So got a nice chunk of that move. So that was a nice one on 5. Market had a fairly flat open today. 5 had a nice little bit of momentum going into it, and that was a nice win. So we're going to take out 5. The second one I said was U, if it could close above that 1830 level. And we're pretty close to that stop. So you had a pretty big move, and then it was very slowly just kind of, you can see, pulling back here. This is a fairly weak pullback considering this move. Buyers are in this move, pretty strongly. So I got in at about 1892. Got a strong surge up today. Tested the bid. Now it's rallying higher, trying to get through its high of the day. I like what I'm seeing in the stock. Still pretty good. I want to hold this a little bit longer. I think it has a lot of momentum and its own power, in my opinion. So I think we have some room till about the $21 level. You can see that there is a little bit of, this is formally support, so this could be resistance over there. As well as this line here, 22 could be another major level. If I zoom out even just a little bit more, huge volume candle right here, around 21, 26. So could be a little bit of resistance there. Let's see if it gets smacked down at that level or not. Some profit targets that were raised. One company had 25, another company had 37, which is really huge. Where the hell's 37? Wow. Yeah, that's a massive profit target. I mean, I don't know if it's going to get there or not, but let's see. It's a reversal. So again, as we're going to have a lot of momentum, we're going to have some moves up. We're going to have some pauses, and I think the buying's going to last a couple of days here. So we'll see. Market tailwind might be dying next week, so it may not be as explosive as something with a market tailwind, but I still like you right now. Let's take a look at the market over here. Again, that is QQQ. Let's take a look at SPY. So let me get rid of that guy. Okay, now on a longer term fundamental basis, like I've been saying the past couple of videos, still bullish, mildly so bullish. I think there's still some chance for a soft landing. I think the recession risk is pretty low. Inflation has been coming down like we've been talking about. Rate cuts are on the table, and the question that really everyone's asking is not if we'll rate cut, but how much are we going to rate cut, and how aggressive are the cuts going to be for this upcoming FOMC meeting and probably the next year or so. That's what we're looking at over here. Now, technically, we made some big moves either way. I've called out a couple times that we are in this, mainly this horizontal trading range that I see from around 540 to 565. So got a decent range here. We did break that through on the 2nd and the 3rd of August, or on the 5th, sorry. This was a little bit of a breakdown. Then we got this yen carry trade, bottom falling out, and the market soared back into that range pretty well. We haven't spent too much time below it, so I consider this a little bit more relevant here. And we got this rejection of the high of the day. We got this long red candle, no follow through. We got a double bottom, and then we reversed up pretty sharply. That tells us that buyers are in control. And so after that, took some swing longs, and we were able to ride out some of this momentum on the swing longs this week. Like I said in the past couple of videos as well, on a shorter term basis, I'm a little more bullish. I was a little bit more bullish. I'm a little bit less bullish now because the market's made a pretty nice move. We're close to that resistance. FOMC meeting is next week. I think we're going to stall out a little bit over here. And probably see some tiny body candles until that meeting. So that's what I'm expecting for the next couple of days. Longer term buys, I am pretty neutral until we get through that meeting, until we break out of this range one way or the other. Let's take a look at the M30 chart. Let's see what's going on here. You can see we've had a pretty nice move. Here's a strong move. Here's a compression. Next leg up. Here's a little bit of a dip check. And then we're riding up higher. Now we're getting pretty close to this level over here. The volume you can see is starting to be quite low. So there's a low volume move over here, and I'm not really feeling like chasing this gap and go in the morning. So let a couple of stocks go by. That's why the overnight swings are nice. You can just kind of ride them higher and higher as the market continues to grind up higher. So that's what I'm seeing today. So let's look at the M5 chart today. We got a gap up, and we went up a little bit over here. We got Michigan Consumer came out. That was a somewhat volatile candle. I don't think the market usually reacts to that, so I thought that was a little odd. But we managed to rally up. We got a little smackdown here, and then you saw how we actually, buyers kind of rushed up here and gobbled the bid. So I think these little bid checks will be kind of the way to go. When we get this move down lower, that's when you want to get in on the stock. So had an opportunity in the first hour of the day. I didn't take it. Didn't feel super comfortable chasing this gap and go, and we got this bid. You see the market has just this tiny little grind higher. It's not going to make a ton of moves. When it gets new high of the day, it's probably going to get smacked down a little bit here, and then buyers are going to gobble it up. So I think there's just some weak control, light volume, float higher. And I'd rather get in on some strong stocks that are pulling back. So let's take a look at a couple of stocks over here, and let's see what is in the wheelhouse, and see if we can find some good stocks that could set up. So GE making a pretty big move today. It's got to get through this level. Here is a crazy TA line that might be very interesting. So the all-time high from GE was around 2000 in the dot-com bubble here. So if I zoom out really far, and I'm actually going to set a price line so you guys can see. Oh. So there was, in 2005, there was a lot of horizontal resistance right at this level right here. So I remember I actually drew that, and it actually hit it off pretty well. So I thought that was quite interesting. These blue lines are very long-term TA that's coming into play on a stock. So when I see them on a chart, it tells you that, hey, there's some pretty big horizontal lines. Just double check what's going on here. Don't jump into anything. It just tells me to kind of be aware of what I'm seeing. So that's what I'm seeing GE. Now, can it break through? Of course. I'm not saying it can't break through, but I would not be getting into it here. This is a pretty nice setup, actually, at 1035. So right when I called it out right here, that would be a beautiful entry on the stock, and then really has rallied up quite strongly here. So that would have been a pretty good pick, but unfortunately did not get in on the right time, so missed my chance on that. App is continuing from yesterday, just sort of grinding higher. I like this. Not my favorite setup again. PHM, nice little breakout over here, gaining some relative strength. I actually missed my breakout. I should have got in at the 1135 bar, and that would have got me some nice follow through. Let's look at IBM. Yeah, IBM's been grinding up as well. There's our buy signal. You see that new high of the day pulls back, new high of the day pulls back, new high of the day compresses, pulling back here again. This is also super high volume candle, so that could be a little sign that we're close to the end of this move. And now I'm looking at some other stocks that are maybe pulling back, maybe not as relatively strong. Coupang has a nice breakout on the D1, but has to get through a couple of levels. I liked ARM earlier today. Surged up pretty high. There is a lot of, excuse me, a lot of TA at this line here. You see here's the high of the day, and it rejected off of some high volume candles coming in over here. So I like to see it clear that level, or if it bounces off that level, then maybe I can get in on a pullback alert. Here's the bounce. Here's the second test, got rejected off again. Still making a higher low, so there could be a chance for this stock to start sailing up here. But ideally, I'd like to get it above this level. Pan W was an interesting one. Was trying to fill in the gap. Let's see what happened here. So here's the breakout. Looks like it tested. Maybe it's a VWAP Q, got close to it, and then we got a bit of a rejection. Not a ton of volume into it as well, and also some choppy mixed candles, so not the type of price action I like. And now here's a couple of stocks that were strong earlier today and now are shedding back some of those gains, and that's kind of what I was fearful for. So here's UAL trying to break through this prior day high. Couldn't quite get to it. You can see nice head of steam on this chart. Probably get in on an LRSI alert, which has not been triggered. So I'm going to set an alert at this high right here. That could be a nice setup. W, same deal. Strong initially, and then pull back, shedding some of the gains. Well, a lot of volume coming in over there. MGM, also a nice one. Really strong this AM. Yep, came back here, shedding some of the gains. So a lot of these stocks ended up being fakes. And essentially I knew, like, if I'm not getting in on this stock in the first, I don't know, 30, the first 60 minutes, really, that's what I would say. In this case, really the first 30 minutes, right? If I'm first 30 minutes, I can still scratch out of this trade. Now, something like Docs, the selling pressure is decently strong. We could see the first signs of it flipping over here. I just don't love how it's showing that relative weakness on that. I know it's cycles, but I'd rather see some relative strength and not have it really dip so low. There's Oracle setting up here. So that LRSI alert might trigger. I'm also going to set an HA reversal alert. mRNA, I took a reversal trade on this yesterday and also point that out on how it's setting up. It's not setting up today. Yesterday we had a big move and some big drop down from news. Stock tried to make a low, and then you see it's starting grinding up and making some higher lows, higher highs, slowly grinding up. And the setup here is that when this stock breaks right here, that high of the day, so we have the break of the high of the day and we'd be closed above it. So I took it pretty much right around here, around 110 I took the trade, and then we have a nice steady price action up. And we know it's strong because of this move here. We have this steady grinding price action for about 30 minutes. When we see this for about 30 minutes, right? It's grinding up higher. It's looking pretty good. There's no red candles anymore. That's our predictive sign that we're something good. Then we get the buy signal right over here. And then to me, when we break through that high of the day and close, I was maybe a candle too late, but 105 would be the perfect entry on that kind of stock. Oracle is interesting here. Had a big gap up, which is an opposite reaction to the Adobe earnings. Oracle here has filled in the gap, and I am wondering if this is a possible setup here. This huge gap up, and then three stacked red candles with follow-through selling. That kind of stock has resisted its gravitational pull here. Really hard to predict that because you're making a counter trend trade. So I'd probably use this as a stop maybe. But that was one setup. So yeah, let's keep taking a look here. Let's see what's looking strong, or maybe what's looking weak. Maybe what's compressing here. What I'd like to get is a stock that is maybe kind of compressing, and then has a new breakout. So let's do a custom. I'm going to run a custom search here, and I'm going to see if there is a stock that has a new trade signal that we can get. Okay, here's 8 items that we have. So it's on a trade signal and just has a new trade signal that got in. I'll look at these M5s first, which you're supposed to look at the D1s first, but you need to vet the M5 charts, see if there's any sort of nice setup forming today that has some decent volume. DHI could be good. Let's double check this D1 here. Yeah, DHI could be a pretty nice one. I like this breakout right here. Bit of a choppy stock. I believe, is this homeowners? Yeah, it's a construction. So a lot of these construction stocks are doing quite well. The other thing I want to check here is the channel that we're in, which looks at first glance that we are safe. So there's the channel on the top. Here is the channel on the bottom. It's a little bit like this, a little bit. So that's not quite as parallel. Something like that, and then I'll move it up. I think that is a little bit more likely. There's our alert for docs. Do we want to take it now? We'll see. Sometimes it's hard for me to draw these parallel lines, but you get the idea. We have plenty of room to the top of this channel. So no really major D1 TA here. I'd like to see this break through the high of the day. We're getting some volume coming in here. So I'm going to set alert at the high of the day. I think if it can break through, then we should be in good shape. So that may be our pick for the day. Let's see what else comes up here. FRO. FRO, nice move. Filling in the gap, although my feeling is that this might be, yep, a terrible D1. So not going to take that guy. Okay, Guild. Nope. Although I know it's a strong D1. Hut. Hut. Hut is, it's looking pretty nice. So I like how we had this compression break and then we have some follow through here. D1 is fairly atrocious, so I don't think I want to take that. MNST. MNST, that's some good volume. So this is some nice little steady price action. Let's look at the D1 here. It's got to get through the 200-day SMA, so we are not interested. And PAAS, that's basic mats. I usually don't trade basic mats. Just, they tend to have very choppy price action. Yeah, also get through that. So DHI is looking pretty good. Let's see what's on a current trade signal. Maybe we can get something that has some really nice volume today. Good volume. All right, so this is some stocks that have good volume. Should be above these two things here. Let's do today's range. They should be... It's not going to get rid of a lot, because if you're above VWAP, you're usually above half of the range. Let's look at stocks that are just above all of these. All right, I mean, we have our list here. Just kind of narrowing it down a little bit more. That is the wrong tab. Okay, so we got a pretty decent list here. A lot of picks that we already talked about. I didn't talk about Dash. Dash was a pretty nice one. Let's see how it's looking right now. Yeah, a little super choppy stock. I just really get in on these pullbacks. So with Dash, I just like this breakout. So we're in this bullish channel. This is a pretty strong breakout here. We are in a the shorter term bullish channel, breakdown through this long term high minus trend line and through some horizontal resistance. We got a nice little compression break. So really just ends up going pretty well. eMay made a big move yesterday. I'm not sure if it's going to continue that today. There could be a little reversal setup here. Let's see what it's looking like. Yeah, actually, this could be a beautiful setup right here. So we have our compression, test. Can't get anything going to the upside. Lots of room. I think eBay is going to be my pick of the day, and I am going to take that long. I think I'm going to take that long. I may take that long right here. Stock is hitting a little bit of resistance, but I think it still has a little bit more room. Got to close above here. Yeah, I like eBay. I like eBay. FOR. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. That is a nice move. What the hell? That's a hella nice move. Okay. Well, it's got to break through that high. A couple more. Pen. We talked about SMMT has been a nice stock all day. Pen is a beautiful move up higher here. I think I may take this. I may take this guy if I can. SMT is nice move up here, compressing a little bit. Could be it for the day. EENN. I think it's a much more worsty one. Could be reversing. There's just way too much stuff in the way for that guy. Toast. Nothing crazy here. Yep, TDD was nice. Just hit that upward sloping trend line. Wasn't able to recover. Okay, so I'm gonna go with as a day trade. I think I might wait for this bearish cycle potentially to produce, or I'm probably gonna wait for at least a little bit of a pullback. But if the pullback looks pretty good, or this bearish cycle starts to not produce too much, I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna go with DHI. And it's going to be my pick for the day if it can break through its high of the day. I think I am going to take it. A lot of volume coming into the stock. There we go. So DHI, day trade long, is my pick for the day. And I want to see it close above this level. All right. So thank you for watching, everyone. And we're going to take a look at how DHI did in the video on Monday. Thanks for watching.